Hi, today I wanted to speak about something maybe weird, most people don't know or you are not aware of, or some maybe you know. So, there are entities who live of our energy, and during my spiritual awakening, when it started like more than 10 years ago, I saw them. So I was practicing all the usual spiritual stuff like third eye opening and any other spiritual practice, and so there were bunch of, I don't know how to say, paranormal or weird experiences and even dangerous ones. They happened to me, and one of these was about these entities, and I saw how it works, so how it comes that they really want to use our energy. So I'll start from beginning. That experience was a time when I was fighting my fear of darkness. And so one evening I said I'm gonna face my fear of darkness and I will go to the bathroom without turning on the light. So there was some street light coming in from the window anyway. It was not totally dark. And so as I was going to the bathroom, I went through the dark and I felt that there was something happening. And exactly next to the door of the bathroom, there was like air pixelating. It was moving, and I saw that it was a portal opening, and I felt that there was an entity ready to come out to suck my fear energy. And so this fear energy, they just sense, they come to collect it because they live it from. And as I was understanding what was happening, I said, no, I'm not gonna give my fear energy, I'm not gonna feed this entity. So I said I was gonna face it, I was just gonna stop my fear. And as I decided to stop my fear, so I stopped it and the portal closed. So, and the entity didn't come out to collect my fear energy. So that's how I know that these entities are real and they are really living off our energy. And I had some other really very, very intense, actually very, very bad for me experiences where I've been attacked by entities, and they just wanted to stop my progress, actually, that I'm maybe not telling you this what's happening, what I told you just now, because they don't want these things. They don't want that that these things are real and they exist, and there are so much lies. This reality is actually illusion. They are feeding us with lies, with fear-mongering messages everywhere, and so much negativity because they live off all that energy. They live from our fears, anger, hate, judgment, stress, anything what is negative, they live off. So that's why there is so much pain and negativity in this world, and ego-based. The ego also is their tool to use us, how to manipulate, to get more energy out of us. Yeah, and about the ego, once during a spiritual trip on San Pedro, so I don't want these judgments also here, so this is also one point why these entities want people to be judgmental and point out, telling, oh, this is drugs or something. No, San Pedro actually is a spiritual drug. It opens your third eye to see behind the reality what these entities also doesn't want you to know. So that's why there's so much judgment behind all these spiritual drugs, what they call, yeah, what they say that they are bad or something. They just don't want you use them to see the reality, what they want to hide from you. And so once during this spiritual trip, I was in contact with my higher self, and my higher self told that ego is actually demonic, and we don't need the ego, and you can live without ego, because ego is causing you pain. So actually the ego wants to protect you from being hurt, but it's causing you more pain than it's protecting you, because it protects you from something what is not real even, and it's causing you actually the pain. And so as long as you believe that you need ego to survive, the longer you will be in control of it, and you will just dwell on it, and it will continue to exist. So what you dwell on, what you focus on, continues to exist, and that's why you should be very careful to understand what you are doing, what you are manifesting. And there is like a lapse when you can change yourself from ego control to let your higher self to control. So like when it's your ego, when you are experiencing the ego death, then that moment the higher self is stepping in to protect you. So there is no such thing that you need ego to be protected, to be protected by ego. So this is another lie. Ego is telling you that you need ego to be protected, because the higher self actually can protect you very well, and you don't need ego. And so that's why these entities who controlling this planet and feeding off your all the negativity and energy, they want you to believe that you need the ego. The ego maybe was good in times when we lived in caves, yeah, when we were primitive humans, when we were living in the fight and flight state, yeah, when we were running from enemies and whatever was bigger, so it could eat you. Yeah. So in that state, the ego maybe was good, but we are no more living in caves. We are spiritually advanced. We are very advanced, and so this is the way how things are. That when we progress, we just leave things behind, and so this is the time when you need to leave the ego behind. And also about the twin flame ascension, and ascension generally, when you are ascending to higher dimensions, you can't take ego with you. The ego is the third dimensional thing, and you have to leave it in the third dimension. You can't exist in higher dimensions with ego. You cannot. So if you have ego, so you will just stay in the lower dimensions. And so as we are ascending, and this is time of awakening, when everybody is waking up and everybody is ascending, so we are just in times when we have to give up on ego. So this is the message for today, and so see you some other time. Bye.